It's 7 in the morning. Who could be banging on the wall at this hour? The superintendent is gonna be pissed.
Today's the day, and Dren could be here any minute now. He's gonna try to barge into this house, but he ain't gonna. I am not gonna move out again.
What makes him wanna tear our place down?
It's because of Legend of Zelda.
So this whole fort is for a video game.
It's because the Legend of Zelda is his favorite franchise of all time. And just like last time, he's gonna hear me say those words some way, somehow. He's gonna want to collab on the new Link's Awakening game that just came out today.
Oh, I remember last time. You were so fat.
So Shadow the Hedgehog made his first appearance in Sonic Adventure.
Hey, I heard you talking about Shadow the Hedgehog.
Oh, good lord, Dren, what are you doing here? Why did you break into my house?
Oh, hey, JorGoGo. Good news. You got a back door now.
One more step could have been a hospital trip. Anyway, what game series are we talking about again?
The Legend of Zelda.
I'm a cat, speak up.
Zelda.
Oh. Zelda.
Hey, don't say it.
Why not?
Because it's his favorite franchise and he'll go crazy.
And that's an excuse for him to make us pay for house damage?
Yes.
So he'll actually do it?
Yes.
What series are we talking about again?
I'm talking about Legend of Zelda! You know how crazy the fans can get!
You said it. I didn't.
Hey, Jordan, did you hear about the new Legend of Zelda that just came out? Man, was your house always this messy? Jordan?
Well, not recently. Up until now, until you—
Jeez, Jordan, ever heard of spring cleaning? Besides that, did you hear about the new Zelda game that just came out? It's a remake of a favorite Game Boy game of mine.
I'm wondering how this man heard us from another plane of existence.
Let me guess, you want to collab on it, don't ya?
Yes.
Okay, Tux, go grab my code. We're doing this. If you're looking for some history behind the original Link's Awakening, you're asking the wrong guy. If you know me, you know I was never a Nintendo guy to begin with. That's why I created my What's a Nintendo series, where I cover 2 Nintendo games per video. So I am trying to ease myself with the cool kids. Please let me sit with you. But I am a total blank slate when it comes to Zelda. Not only do I know so little of the franchise and its lore, which honestly puts Kingdom Hearts to shame, I only played a handful of Zelda titles. Ocarina of Time for the 3DS, Breath of the Wild, Dren actually let me try the original Awakening on the Game Boy, and now this. Yep, this is it. This is all the homework I've done. So yep, I'm letting Dren take over this one. You want a real Zelda fan that'll milk this franchise to death? Dren has got your back. Okay, Dren, you got this? Good. I'm gonna leave it to you. I gotta pee.
The whole building is in ruins, you idiot. There's nothing left.
Oh, god damn!
Anyway, I love Zelda. It's so colorful, the characters are cool, the stories are engaging, and the atmosphere is so immersive.
That's it?
What?
Well, I thought you were a Zelda fan. I held you to a high standard in this fandom. You, got anything else to dish out or something?
Well, duh, of course I know more about Zelda. Psh, it's not like Sonic could ever stand up to it.
You're right, go on.
It's a dungeon crawling explorer RPG. You play as a Hylian dude who doesn't know how to set an alarm because you normally start off asleep.
I mean, Zelda's lucky though. I don't even know what sleep is anymore.
Wait, what?
Yeah, Zelda. That's him, isn't it? The main character?
No. Are you serious?
Well, no, that's just what I assume because Zelda, everyone knows Zelda, and the game is called Legend of Zelda, so you would think—
I can't tell if you're pulling a joke on me, or you're that utterly stupid.
No, dude, listen.
Because right now, the joke ain't funny.
Dude, what are you talking about?
This is why people don't watch your channel.
You're not listening.
No. Stop talking. I took away your apartment, and I can make everything else look like an accident.
But this is my house.
What house? I don't see anything. At least, not anymore. But yeah, back to Legend of Zelda. You put yourself in the place of the hero to beat Ganon, rescue the princess, and save the world! This is the traditional story for most Zelda games, but we're talking about Link's Awakening. 1993, this game and I were born. This game started as a Link to the Passport, but Takashi Tezuka had other plans. This game was weird. It takes place on Koholint Island instead of Hyrule, and there is no Princess Zelda nor Triforce. Instead of the three goddesses, we get a whale-like deity called the Windfish. This game's development was like an after-school project, and hence put in a ton of Easter eggs like Mario and Kirby characters.
Oh my god, Kirby vored me!
A lot of people who developed this game went on to make Ocarina of Time, and after playing this game, it definitely shows. With the lacking of some traditional Zelda tropes, Link's Awakening quickly became a staple for the Game Boy, selling over 6 million copies. Now, thanks to Nintendo completely taking advantage of our nostalgia, the Link's Awakening is reborn, with more charm and character than ever.
And talking about that remake is what I'm here for. So with that out of the way, let's waste no more time. Let's get down and funky with The Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening for the Nintendo Switch. We start off the game with our poor lad Link trying to sail through a storm. Shortly after a girl finds our green boy wasted on shore, we wake up from a much needed nap as we're introduced to the lovely village full of weird kids that know too much, pearly whites, and foxes that are just looking for an excuse to tear through your organs. And just like that, our quest to traverse Koholint Island begins. We basically gotta explore more of the island, trying to sing one big alarm clock to wake up the Windfish guy.
If you or a loved one was diagnosed with mesothelioma.
But while we're at it, we meet new peeps, get new stuff, upgrade stuff, all while this owl is constantly on my case. I'm doing what you want, leave me alone, beakhead! More and more of the island opens up as the story progresses, and as you begin to think if this is all worth it, is it though? Apparently there's a bigger mystery about this island, and even the bosses have raised eyebrows about you. Whether you're helping the island or killing it off is up to you to find out. We're all living so peacefully, and you're willing to erase it all, and for what? Your escape? Such selfish thinking, Link. Oh no!
Okay, real quick. Back in the original game, you had only 8 buttons on Game Boy and only 6 were for actions. The D-pad and the AB buttons. All of your action items, like your sword, your shield, your Pegasus boots, and the power bracelet, had to be in an item slot. You could only use 2 items at a time. The new controls are a godsend.
And good thing I never played the classic game, because holy moly, after playing the remake, that sounds like a pain in my lumpy butt. Now, the items you'll be finding that help you explore more of the island or opens up new branching paths will be installed into your tiny plastic body permanently. Now, these items, like as Dren pointed out, like the Pegasus boots, which lets you run through what I'm guessing are bouncy tents and let you make longer jumps. The power bracelet, which is basically a wearable protein shake, and flippers, because the hero of Hyrule apparently can't swim. Dude, if you can't swim, don't try to cross the ocean, use your head. But the button items, as Dren mentioned, does make a return, but they're mostly for the items that does the killing, the hurting, and the kidnapping. You come across bombs, a crossbow, and a boomerang, just to name a few. But you also have action items that help find secrets and help you across certain areas. You get a shovel to dig into the ground to find secrets, like your mom lying about your dog going to a farm to be happy, and here you are trying to find the truth the hard way. Oh look, a cute seashell! And you also get it further because the hero of Hyrule rule! Can't jump either. Man, Zelda must have low standards. You'll be unlocking these items as you play the game, so don't rush things and just play around with what you got already. You'll be coming across a lot of roadblocks in this game, so if you come across a point where it seems impossible to get through, then you probably don't have the item for it yet. Back away and explore some more, you twit. Trust me, you're not stuck. You're just not looking hard enough. You gotta think outside the box, experiment, and take your time. Despite the game looking like a cramped maze, the game heavily requires exploration, so you can't escape it. Have fun finding all kinds of secrets, money, and items. Trust me, you'll feel proud of yourself once the job's done. But in case if you do wind up stuck, find the telephone house and ask for some advice on what to do next. It'll tell you the general place you need to be or where to go, but if that doesn't help, you can check out the memory section in your menu and see the last conversation you had with the owl or with anyone else. But if that doesn't help, then make peace with your god. I got nothing else for you. So when you're exploring, keep in mind of all the things you may encounter. People! An introvert's worst enemy. Talk to them. Talk with anyone and everyone. They'll most likely give you the next step on what you need to do next. Or they just want something from you because apparently they can't do anything themselves. Enemies. Murder is okay. It usually takes 1 to 2 stabs to make these guys go poof, and they sometimes drop extra health and money. Grass. This is Zelda. You know what to do. Chop your local wildlife. Mow someone's lawn. I don't care what you do. Either way, you're gonna get paid for it. So chop down everything you see. It only requires a tap of the B button. But really, what you'll be doing in this cute Lego playset is either talking to peeps for clues on what to do, using your new item to take one more trip across the entire map to see what you might have missed. Don't look at me as if you didn't do that. We all did it. Or you're looking for the dungeon key. These keys, go figure, unlock the dungeons you'll need to conquer in order to grab the instruments to wake up the windfish. But before you dive into these puzzle-filled mess fields that may or may not trigger claustrophobia, make sure you get your Giga Brain going on. Study for your SATs and ACTs, take those exams, and play some Brain Age. Get that blood pumping up there, because it may look simple, but you have to have an IQ of at least 200 to even comprehend the situation.
It's called puzzle solving, you fat, horny, stupid, lonely, single-digit waste of space.
Okay, who hurt you? There's around 8 of these dungeons, and the goal is simple. You go through each one, exploring each room while puzzle solving your way through certain segments and leaving no room unexplored. I've always loved puzzle solving in games like Professor Layton or The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. But I can totally see the puzzle solving aspect in full force in this game simply because of how the game is designed. And it's not just the dungeons, same goes for the general overworld as well. The overhead perspective and the level design blends well beautifully, given the sense of challenge as well as those moments of, it was right here all along and I didn't notice? I now understand why Zelda fans are so critical when it comes to dungeons now. These dungeons are stupid fun brain twisters. Now while you're in these dungeons, you'll be grabbing the map, which gives you the general layout of the dungeon, a compass that indicates objects in the room, and a beak because the owl really likes talking to you. Lastly, you'll be grabbing small keys to unlock certain rooms if you're choosing while defeating the occasional mini-boss while you're hunting. But when everything else is said and done, you'll finally find the nightmare key that unlocks the main boss room, but you better bring your big girl panties on because these guys can be a handful. Beating these guys requires thinking outside the box, so pay attention to each boss and how they function. You gotta stab their sweet spots some way somehow. And with a simple swishity and swooshity, bam dang diggity, the instrument is all yoursity. You head outside and the owl will talk your ear off again and you move on to the next area. Find the key, go to the dungeon, find the shiny new item, repeat the process around 7 times and you're good to go. But don't let the simple process fool you though, because like I said, there are many bumps on the road. Either you're not looking hard enough or you don't have that certain item yet. I mean it when I say take your time with Link's Awakening and only use a guide if you're truly stuck. Exploring and puzzle solving is what makes Zelda games so great and special, and Link's Awakening is the best example by far. And I played the big boys like Breath of the Wild and Ocarina of Time, and even they don't come as close to the puzzle solving aspect that this game has done wholesomely right.
The first thing you will likely find are Mario characters, or more accurately, Mario enemies. They are littered all over the game. Chomp Chomps, Goombas, Boos, Thwomps, Cheep Cheeps, and more.
Hey look, it's Kirby and some Waddle Dees.
Ugh, we get it, Sakurai. Kirby's important. Wait, this isn't Smash? There's also a crane game that used to be super easy, but then went through Satan's butt crack like a J-string and took a ride through bullshit. Despite its flaws, It starts two things: collecting trophies and a fetch quest. Trophies you get come mostly from the crane game as far as I can tell. A few you get from certain people or tasks. Speaking of which is the fetch quest. Normally I hate fetch quests, but this one was really well executed. You start it by getting the Yoshi doll from the crane game and giving it to the mother and child in the big house north of the rooster statue. From there you go from place to place, exchanging items and meeting with new and interesting people, like this alligator drawing a fruit basket when he's supposed to be painting a cute hippo lady. Jerk. Oh, and the prize at the end is really cool. It's a secret. Yeah, I'm not telling you. This fetch quest was pretty satisfying for me. Someone who hates fetch quests. You go and find it for yourself. Another thing you can fetch are these seashells. They're hidden all over Coland Island, and the more you find, the better the prize you get from Seashell Cave. So far, all this stuff is all you doing it. But if you've ever played Ocarina of Time, then you remember the mandatory owl. This one isn't so bad, but not very necessary. It's basically an exhibition machine telling you to do what you're already doing. Zelda is mostly based in exploration, so if you get lost, you keep trying something different until something different happens. But maybe that's too tame for you. Maybe you need a little thrill. Maybe you should steal those expensive bow and arrows from the shopkeeper. Go on, take it. Try fishing. No, seriously, you can fish. It's a cute minigame with different lures and fish. Catch a fish, win a prize! Okay, so there's one more thing I need to talk about. The Dungeon Maker. A Legend of Zelda level maker. This honestly threw me for a loop as it feels unheard of. Actually, making and playing the Dungeon Maker itself didn't impress me as much as it just being there. If this is here, could we get a Zelda maker? For lack of a better phrase. It's an interesting idea. This Dungeon Maker is very basic. It feels like a very early stage game for itself. If you have been in those dungeon rooms, you can use them in your custom level. You have to abide by room layouts, but for the most part, you can make anything. There really isn't much to say for this, except I would love to see this expanded on. Nintendo, give us a Legend of Zelda dungeon designer for the Switch.
Dren?
This concept is something I've heard all over the internet.
Dren.
This is a great test on one.
Dren.
Don't just tease us with what could be. Your community is that
Dren!
What?
Now is not the time to stroke Nintendo's wiener. We gotta wrap this up.
Oh yeah. Another time then.
So in conclusion, this is the most charming and fun-filled Zelda game I've seen in a long time, and this is coming from someone who just played Breath of the Wild. But I'm gonna be one of those people for a second here. I don't see this game being $60. I recommend waiting for a sale. I can't really name any issues besides the frame rate drop that everyone's talking about. I didn't mention it in this video because it's not much of a big deal and y'all need to calm down. But I will say that the Dungeon Maker isn't that much to write home about. It's really a waste of time. But on everything else, it is what it is. An action-adventure puzzle solver with a lot of charm and a lot of picky people who expect you to end world hunger for $2. Dren might have liked the fetch quest, but I really didn't, guys. It was such a drag. It really does capture the original game's feeling, and I mean literally. The game runs just fine on handheld, and just like the Game Boys, you can play this game on the John, on your break, in the streets, and under the sheets. This game is exactly how you should handle a remake, because if you make this game exactly like the original, number for number, there wouldn't be any difference between the two, and it really wouldn't matter which version you picked up. Like one neat example, if you look at the original game's art style, you notice that it's just Zelda. But if you look at the remake's art style, you notice how it blends in with Nintendo's aesthetic now. What I mean by that is that every Nintendo IP now has a certain art style to it, a certain aesthetic. Like Yoshi with arts and crafts and yarn, Kirby with Play-Doh, and now The Legend of Zelda with toys. Well, everything looks like toys, you get what I mean, right? There's obviously a lot more bells and whistles in this game, but if I named them all now, we'd be here all day. This has to be one of my favorite remakes besides Oddworld New and Tasty, but I'm sorry, Link's Awakening beats that game by a huge mile. It has the improvements that makes the original original experience better, it has the art style that feels fresh, vibrant, and right at home with Nintendo's other IPs, and it's on the best console known to man. It really is a proper addition to the Nintendo Switch library that keeps going strong. If you're looking for another fine Zelda game, this is it. Once again, it doesn't disappoint. Not only that, but I hope this serves as an example of how a remake should be handled. It's obviously not a perfect game, but then again, there's no such thing, but it is a perfect remake. And let's see if other developers are taking notes here, cause I'm sure as hecky that they can't possibly top this.
Well, that's another episode done. Thanks for having me over, JorGoGo.
Oh yeah, it's been fun. Considering the $500,000 amount of damage I'm gonna have to pay for it, and the superintendent gonna kick me out, and I'm gonna have to move out again, oh yeah, it's been real good.
What? That's nonsense. Here, tell you what, I can fix this place up for you.
Oh, can you? Not just my apartment, but the entire complex that you somehow torn down by just running into it?
Oh yeah, totally. Check this out.
Oh, dude, stop doing that! What was that?
Do you want me to fix up your place or not?
No, I mean, what was that? I felt like I was being split apart. What were you doing with that ocarina?
Don't worry about it. I'm just ripping apart this timeline and creating a new one.
Wait, you're doing what?
And the only difference is that I won't barge into your apartment this time.
You can do that? Are you some kind of time god or something? Or what's gonna happen to this timeline or something? Are we gonna go to a new one or something?
That's what I just said.
Dude, wait, hold on. I still got a whole bunch of questions. Do you have some kind of time power or something?
And here's my answer. Don't worry about it.
But...
Resetting time. Just let it happen.
I'm talking about Legend of Zelda! You know how crazy the fans can get!
You said it. I didn't.
Okay, he's not coming. Thank God.
See? Told you everything would be A-okay. Next time, I'll use the front door.
Well, that about does it, y'all. That was our good old-fashioned hot take. Our game take. What did you guys think of the video? What do you think of The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening? I want to hear all your thoughts on the comments below, and be sure to like, and most importantly, subscribe. You know I'll be coming back, and I only get funkier every time. If you want to check me out or get up to date on what's going on, I recommend checking out my Twitter or Facebook page. But if you want to go the extra mile in supporting me, I do have a Patreon page, and I do have a TeePublic store if you want some cool merch. And please y'all, let's give a huge thanks to Dren Hatamata for being a part of this collaboration. He's been out of commission for a while now, but he will return to us once his new PC is up and running. I wanted to help him out too, you know? Give him some work hours if you know what I mean. However, you should still check out his YouTube channel. He has a lot of content for you to just devour in. Gaming Let's Plays, creepypastas, positive vibes, this guy has it all. Please be sure to check him out and let him know that I sent you. And this is where I tune off. So until we meet again, guys, be cool, be wild, and be groovy. Wait, hold on. How the frick is it 5 o'clock already?